guys, Scott here for the Mental Metal channel and mentalmetaldetecting.com. I have the Minelab Manticore on my table here. I got the sensitivity cranked way down because I'm going to get a lot of interference. And we also have Rocky in the garage who's going to want to play with his BALL, I'm sure. So we'll try to get through it. Hopefully he won't cause too much ruckus for us. So I did a poll over in my Patreon group and I was asking them what they thought the 3 hardest things to learn on the Manticore would be. So what are the 3 hardest things to pick up, figure out? And I decided I would do a video on all 3 of these. And then there was a question someone threw in as well about custom Ferris limits. So we're going to cover the 3 hardest things to learn about the Manticore according to my Patreon group and this additional question that was posted in my Patreon group about Ferris limits as well. So the first one that we're going to go over, the first thing that we're going to go over, they're all pretty much around the same, got the same number of votes, except I think one had a couple more votes than another. But we're going to talk about soft keys. A lot of people don't utilize these soft keys, or maybe they just don't understand how to utilize them. Soft keys are the keys that you can set up based on this is going to be a soft key. These 2 are also a soft key. I'm going to show you how to set those up to do whatever you want to do based on the features that are built in the Manticore. So to get to the soft keys, it's really simple. You go to your settings menu and you go all the way up to the top to your general settings, and then you're going to select the gear again, and then you're going to come down into soft keys, and you're going to arrow over. You're following basically what the screen shows you. Now you have right now it's highlighting this first one here. It would be your little profile icon over here. That is your first soft key, and basically it is set up as a favorite mode, but you can change it to be whatever you want based on the menu down below. You just follow the arrows. Let's say you don't want it to be a favorite. Maybe you want it to be a quick start to search mode, where you can pick your search programs, or maybe you want to turn on your flashlight, or display backlight, or sensitivity boost, or speaker mute, which is actually kind of useful. Recovery speed, it's a quick hit there for recovery speed. You can change the frequency by using this soft key, or you can clear the ID map quicker than waiting for it to clear out itself. And you can also select all metal mode, which already we have all metal mode over here selected as a hotkey or a soft key. Right now it is set up to be in my favorite. So when I create a custom profile and I want to go back and forth to my favorite profile, I would simply hit this key over here, this button over here, and it would flip me to my favorite program that I have that I want in there. So that's real simple, real setup. But let's say you don't want to mess with that one. You like the way that one is, but what if you wanted to change another one? Well, you go back. Oops, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. You have an arrow indication where you can actually arrow down. And now you selected another soft key. This one is set up for all metal mode. Again, you can go through the menu and change it to whatever you want to. If I want to change to accept reject, noise cancel, ground balance. Maybe noise cancel is a nifty one to have. So if you select noise cancel and then pick your up and arrow buttons again to move to the next one, now here's your 3rd soft key that you can select and change. And right now it's in accept reject. But let's say I want to do maybe a quick hit to my search mode. Let's do that right now. Let's just leave it like this. So up here we have our favorites. Over here we have our noise cancel. I think it was noise cancel. I can't remember what I put. Let's go back over and let's see it again. Yes, noise cancel. And this one's going to be my search mode. And then this one up here is going to be, or let's leave it my favorites. I'm not going to mess with that one. So when you come out of here, go back to the beginning, get back to your screen. Let's say I'm in an area where I'm getting a lot of noise. I just want to, instead of hitting the menu and then scrolling all the way down to noise cancel, which takes me how many clicks? A bunch of clicks. I can now, while I'm searching, just hold down my button right there, and you can do a quick noise cancel, or you can hold it down and do a continuous noise cancel, just like you would if you went to the menu. Just a quick little shortcut is what it is. Now if I wanted to, instead of going here and picking my search mode, by doing that, maybe I might be way up in this menu somewhere, and then I got to scroll all the way back down and pick my search mode. I don't have to do that anymore. I can hit this button, I think. Oh, it's actually scrolling through. I didn't know that. So check it out at the top. There's beach mode. There is beach sensitive, I think. Deep. Now we're in field or whatever they call it. So it's scrolling through all of your search profiles up here at the top. So you just have to know what those pictures mean. That's kind of cool. I thought it would actually go in, but it's actually showing you up here how it's cycling through your search modes. So that's pretty cool. So if you didn't want to actually go back to your menu all the time and go into here and then go to the right and scroll over, that's a quick way of getting into your search modes. All right. So that's kind of how you set up hot or soft keys. I keep wanting to call them hotkeys. They're really simple to set up. They're not hard to do. You can change them to whatever you want to. And, if you don't like it, believe me, all you got to do is do a factory reset and wipe them back out, and then you're back to normal. So don't sweat it. Give it a try. Go in there and change around these soft keys and see what you think. I think I actually might change the noise cancel and keep that one in there with... I'll change my search mode out, I think. I'm not going to use that one that much, but I might change it to a couple other ones. So it's pretty cool. I'm glad we got into that. So the next thing on the list to go over is tone breaks. A lot of people are really, really intimidated by the tone break feature and how to set them up. Believe me, it's not that difficult. It is a little cumbersome at first. It's a little... I guess if you look at the menu, you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But once you go in here and do it a couple times, trust me, it's not that hard. But you got to remember one thing. The tone break feature is based on the number of tones you set up first for this machine. So for instance, let's go up to our target tones, which I'm in the wrong program because I need to get out of that program because I'm in the wrong one. You won't have that feature available unless you are in altering general or something like that. I think it is, and then you can pick your... Oh, I know, it's the audio theme. I didn't do it right. So my audio theme is normal now, so I should be able to pick target tones. Yep. All right, so there we go. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to do a 1 or 2, let's do 5 tones. Just a 5-tone regular tone program, and I wanted to change the tone breaks. Now remember, you're picking 5 tones. That's going to essentially give you 5 tone breaks. The same if you do 2 tones, you only get 2 tone breaks to change. You're only going to be able to change 1 because the second one's always going to be the factory one, so you won't be able to make too many edits, or you won't be able to edit that one the way you kind of want or think you can. But let's go do a 5-tone and hit the pencil. Now this is where people get kind of freaked out, all right? So in here, when you first start, it's going to show you the start. The little dot is the start of the first tone break. These little columns are your tone breaks. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Your first one, the red dot is on the beginning of the tone break. It's the T1 start, the tone 1 start. So tone break 1 starts at, I think, 0, and then it goes all the way up to whatever that is. If you edit this, you can change it. You can't really change that one. You got to go back here, and you got to move over till you get to the next dot, and that's the T1 end is on 10. So you can actually then change it by hitting the pencil, where you can increase it, but you're only going to be able to increase it up until you get to the next tone break. So you'll have to adjust the tone breaks if you want to make them bigger. Right now I can only go up to 19, because that's where the other one starts. So let's go back to where it was, 10. So that's how you change it. That's how you adjust the tone slider a little bit, or the tone break, and make it increase it or reduce it. But every time you do that, you have a couple options here. You can change the pitch also of that tone break. So like right here, tone break number 1, I have it from 1 to 10, and the pitch is at 10. You can create the pitch, make the pitch louder or higher. If you wanted, you can create all up to 50. 50 is the highest sounding pitch you can give it. Let's just leave it 10 for now. Okay, so when you're in here, you can actually pick the tone start, the tone end, the pitch, and then when you come back out of here, you have another option. If you use your arrow keys, if you get in the middle right here where it's red, I'll move over this one so you can see it better. This is your volume. You can actually change the volume of that tone break, making it louder or softer. But let's go over to the one that's easier to see. So tone break number 3 starts at 21. It has a pitch of 24. Let's go ahead and edit that. So right now I can adjust the tone break with the start of it. I can reduce it by making it shorter, or I can make it, bigger by increasing it in size. So you have 21 to whatever it is. And then remember, as you're editing this, you have the other option of changing the pitch. So using up arrows, you can change the pitch to make it a loud tone if you want, or you can make it a soft tone if you don't want it to hear or sound really good, or maybe you prefer a mid-tone, change it down to something like that. But remember, you got to go back out to your other menu. If you want to change the volume, you got to get your cursor in the middle. So now you see the red line light up. Now you can change the volume of that tone break. And right now it's at the highest it can go, 25. But let's say we want to make it really quiet. We didn't want it to sound off too much. Maybe that was a range of stuff we don't care about. So I don't want it to sound off too bad in my ears. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to that as I go over it. So that is really it, folks. I mean, it's not really hard. It's just cumbersome way. You have to remember how to get around the menu. There's 2 parts to the menu. You have a volume, and then you have the tone breaks, the start and the end, and then the pitch. And anytime you get in here, you have to be in this. You click this edit button to change everything. All right, so don't let it be too overwhelming. I've gone over this a few times in different videos, setting up coin programs and so forth. Check out the playlist I have on the Manticore. It really is a nice and easy machine to use. So just don't be afraid to get in here and mess with these. In the worst case, you just do a factory reset by holding in the power button, turn it off, hold it back, turn the power back on, hold it in. It'll do a complete factory reset on the machine, and you don't have to worry about it. And you can start over and keep playing around. So don't be afraid to get in here and mess with these, all right? So the next thing I wanted to go over that somebody had brought up was a very similar topic to tone breaks, is the Ferris limits. So you got Ferris tones, you got Ferris limits, but you have these custom options in here as well. You have the preset, which is by default, whatever the machine by default sets it to, or you can go in here and create custom programs 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, these are really cool. I mean, a lot of people haven't really been messing with these too much that I've been seeing on the internet, doing videos and stuff. There's a whole nother level here, folks, to kind of mess with. Let's say you get to a site where it's got a lot of mineralization in the ground, and you're getting too much iron. You can actually do a custom setup for the Ferris limits for that site, and then that way, if you're going back to that site all the time, you'll have something all ready to go. You know what you need to do when you get there, instead of getting there and messing around with adjusting things. If you get it all figured out and you want to save it off and create a custom Ferris limit option, you can do that. That's the beauty of it. And here's the cool thing. Let's go back to the presets, right? So let's go back into our search mode. Let's come down here. Let's say we're in all-terrain general. Right now we know, based on all-terrain general, if we go up to Ferris limits, we are currently in the preset mode. But let's say we wanted to go over and make a custom one. So let's go over to our custom one, and then we want to hit the pencil. Now, much like the tone breaks, it's showing you the options you have available to you. You have a target ID, which is right now where it's setting, it's at 21. You can raise and lower these target IDs. You can change and lower the Ferris limits, but you got to do it by clicking the edit button again. So the target ID range, you can increase to 23. Do whatever you want in here, and then you can change it up and down the Ferris limits. So let's say I want to raise it. So now it's accepting more of the iron coming in. That's how you do it. You saw the bar going up and down. I'm raising it all the way up right now. But now let's say I want to get back out of here and I want to go over to my next dot over here. Let's say maybe I may have something going on. I need to increase the Ferris limit, make that bar a little bit, so it knocks it out, cancels it. Hit the button again. Now what I want to do is I want to make this a little bit more, and I'm only going to let in just a little bit in here that's going to be detectable. All this other stuff now is I've basically knocked it out. So you now, if that's all you wanted to do, you back out of this, you back out of it again. You are now set up for custom 1 for your general all-terrain search profile. So let's go down into, let's test something real quick. Let's get back out of here. Let's go back down to our search profiles again. But let's say, well, maybe we went to a different site. We need to change. We're looking for high conductors. And now we're in high conductors. Is the custom limits by default now the default setting for the all-terrain high conductors too? The answer is no. If you go back out of this and go back up to your Ferris limits, it will default to preset until you change this to a custom profile. Let's say, for instance, I did want to change it and I assigned, I wanted to go over to custom, let's say 3. Let's say I wanted to assign it this custom limit. I'm not going to mess with it, but let's just say I did and I changed some things. Custom 3 is now, I've changed it to custom 3, is now assigned to all-terrain high conductors. So now when you go back to all-terrain general and you go back up to your custom profiles again and your Ferris limits, see, you're still on custom 1. It will stay there until you put it back to preset. So it's going to remember every time you do something to one of these, if you change the Ferris limits. So you got to remember that. It's going to remember what custom profile you have put in there. It's going to remember that, and it's going to show up there. Now, what if I turn the machine off? Is it going to remember, my custom Ferris limits I set up? Will it be assigned to the same search profile? Let's check. So right now we're in all-terrain general, so it should, the last custom profile we set up for this, for Ferris limits, was custom 1. Let's go all the way up to our Ferris limits, and look, even if you turn it off, it still remembers where you were. But does it do it for the other programs? Well, let's go back. Let's go back down to, whoops, wrong button. Let's go back down to the search mode. Let's go over to all-terrain high conductors. I should be set to custom 3. Let's just double check. And, yep, we're in custom 3. So it does remember, and it is kind of a catch-22. You got to remember, if you change this from presets, then it's always going to be in this until you change it. So you just have to remember, if you're out hunting, oh yeah, why is my machine acting really weird? Well, you might have changed the Ferris limits and you need to go back and adjust them. So it's just something I wanted to kind of like show you. And then the last thing to go over, let me double check everything. I did the, let's see here, I did the tone breaks, the soft keys, and the Ferris limits. And the last thing to go over is ground balance, and I'll take you outside for that. So stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm out here. I got ground balance. I got selected, and I just want to show you. Well, let's just get out of here in case you didn't know where to find it. Hopefully, you guys do by now. I'm trying to get this glare to be not so bad here. Sorry, trying. Go up to your settings. If you're not in ground balance, you'll probably be down here volume. Go up to your ground balance, and you'll have this in front of you. So you have a couple options here. You have this tracking feature that you can turn off. You hit this button once, it turns on. Well, I had it on. If you hit it once, it's going to turn it on for you. And this is used when your ground's really unstable and you need something to kind of like do an automatic ground balancing for you. It will continuously do a ground balancing for you as you're swinging the coil. Don't recommend doing that. You don't really need to do that unless you're in some really gnarly ground. So I'd recommend leaving that off. So to turn it off, you hit that button and it takes it off. Now, to do a ground balance though, you're going to actually hold this button in. And you're going to need to get over a piece of ground that does not have any targets in it underneath the coil. It's pretty quiet right now. I've raised my sensitivity up so it's pretty quiet. And then you're just going to hold this button down, and it's going to tell you what to do. And see how it says auto ground balance. Start pumping your coil. You're going to pump that coil until that number stops changing. It may take a few seconds. Right now I'm at 4. It looks like it's going to stay. Oh, there's 5. I'm going to pump it a couple more times to make sure. But it looks like 5 is going to do it. And then you just release. Actually, it actually ground balanced on 6. You can manually tune it to whatever you need to. If automatically or holding that button in doesn't do the trick for you, and you're still getting a lot of noise and stuff, you can try to manually tune it. I'm going to leave it at 5. But that's really all you got to do. It's really that simple. And you can do this anytime you want. You can set up a hotkey to do this. Or I'm just calling it a hotkey. You can set up a soft key to that way you don't have to go into the menu. You can just set up a soft key and then automatically hit that button and it'll do it for you. Just really simple. Not too much to do here with ground balancing. That's pretty much it other than turning on and off tracking. All right. All right, guys, I hope that was useful. Hope that was helpful for you here. Just going over some of the things for the Manticore that others have said they have trouble doing or have trouble figuring out. So just wanted to throw out the 3 hardest things to learn according to my Patreon group about the Manticore, and then throwing in that custom Ferris question as well. I hope that answers those questions for you. And if it did, let me know in a comment. If you're looking for one of these machines, the Manticore, I'd highly recommend reaching over to our friends at Fort Bedford Metal Detectors. They have them in stock. And then give them for you lickety split. And then we got Rocky there. Rocky, what are you doing? He's busy doing something. But anyway, that's it for the video today. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you, easy for me to say, in another metal video. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, I'm out here and I got the ground balance feature highlighted. Why? I'll put you in a house. Darn you, Rocky.